welcome back again everyone, glad you can join us. Last time, if you remember, we were stripping the frame down, so I've got everything stripped off. Engine's over there, ready to be cleaned up and painted, but I'm concentrating on the frame to try and get all the painting done with that. And now, last time I was drilling some holes to feed wires through, and I've finished that off. I've got some little holes down here so that the wires for the indicators can go through the tube and into the main tube, and then I can feed them up underneath the tank, and then we'll join them there to the rest of the lights. We've also got them for the speed sensor and the rear light going up there. And let's see, so I've got everything ready for the engine, the battery box, that's all done. And I've then went on and I've been welding up all the brackets, all the little brackets which I put on for different things: the petrol tank, the ignition unit, the coils, the gussets for the frame, all those. I've went round and I've given them all a weld over just using the MIG welder, because they were only tacked on before. The only thing now is my MIG welding's not so good. I'm not bad. I can stick two bits of metal together, but may not look that nice. So I'm going round now with a grinder and the sander and that to try and tidy it up a little bit. So I've got I don't think I'll need my cutting disc, which I was using earlier, but I've got a sanding disc, and I have to put a new pad on there, and I'm going to change my wire brush for this disc, like a grinding disc. And the other thing I'm going to use is this here. Now it's a router, but they're only about £22 or something off eBay. Now they use let's see, routers normally have a 1/4 of an inch shaft on them, and the little die grinders which I've got are only 6mm. So what I did, the collets in there, they've got like 3 parts to the collet, like a chuck, and when they close, they don't close enough. So all I did was I cut them down a little bit to make these gaps wider so that they will close up a little bit more, and it seems to work alright with that. And go under that. It's a little bit more convenient, and I'm to start the compressor up all the time and keep the air up to use the pneumatic one which I've got. Right, so I'm going to just carry on with that. All the other things I've got here, I've got the tank behind us here, but I haven't started on that yet, clean that up, but I will be going over that to get ready for paint. But there's these little brackets as well, that's off the seat. That just needs cleaning up for paint, because I dressed that up before in one of the other videos and shaped it to look a little bit nicer than what it was. The gear lever, now I didn't have a gear lever for it, and it looked like the one I needed would have been a different shape to the standard one anyhow. So I got this, you can buy these little clamps for the gear shaft separate. So I got that. I had an old gear lever, and I've cut it down to length, bent it the right shape and welded it up. I just need to clean that up and maybe round some of these corners off, because they're a bit square, they don't look so nice. The number plate bracket, I want to modify it. I need to just clean the weld up on that. And the side stand. The side stand, I was looking at it the other day, I rubbed it over the file, and it's not looking bad, but just want to make sure that's nice and smooth and get that ready for paint. Right, so I'm going to crack on, start doing a bit of sanding and a bit of filing and grinding. Okay, so I can get this ready for paint. So I'll probably put you on fast forward while I do some of this. Right, well I've cleaned up around the headstock there, and a couple of the bits and pieces, and underneath the seat pan, this plate here. This router which I was on about earlier, it's meant for woodwork, and I've just got a die grinder in it, and it seems to work quite well when I've been using it. It seems okay, but what I've also got, I made up this lead, and it's just one 10-volt plug so I can push to my transformer, and a normal 3-pin socket. Right, that's it on 240. Put on 110. So I've got two different speeds with that anyhow, and it seems to do alright. You can buy them with your variable speed, but a bit more expensive. Right, so I'm going to leave that at that for tonight, and then I'm going to just start chipping away at little bits at a time. I have found one or two little pieces of weld which needs improving, or little bits I've missed, and I'll have to get back and do them later as well. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for today, and I'll start again tomorrow.